about smart.
Really hard to tell if
Nonsense.
that's synced up. I did like how on yesterday's pod, watch this on YouTube and subscribe.
Or Spotify.
Krishna, dude, there's like 6 listeners on Spotify, and I'm 3 of them. Krishna finished our sentence. She was finishing the sentences right out of our mouth. She came in for the nonsense to our smart.
Yeah.
You might have blacked out
when you're brainwashed.
because we had so many exhibits.
I did, and it was kind of like when we went from having a remote COVID podcast to me moving to Chicago and shooting like what everybody is saying, or I forget the first pod we did, but we're at this corner table and we're close, and I didn't know how to shoot a pod and didn't know how to make eye contact, and it was really hard. Kind of felt like that yesterday, but it was a triangle trade, so we had Chris and me on the couch. And
it was great. It was great. Nice. The reviews are in, and by reviews I mean me, you, Krishna,
and her mom.
That's it, and her mom, and 2 thumbs up on the Krishna special.
Yeah.
2 things, brass tacks. Number 1, you just got a haircut. Now,
nice, dude.
Well, yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
Well,
so
you said I got a haircut. You didn't say I got a good haircut.
Because I have a question. My question, and I know we tend to stick to hair salon, hockey, threads. No. Well, what's like? Sorry, words.
Hold on.
Words.
No, I'm looking at myself.
No. The haircut's good. I have a question. I thought I'm, and we're gonna get to why I'm so slow. We'll get to it. I was up very late, but I thought you were going for curtains and long hair and setting the right foundation with your girl, and I feel like you're back at the foundation.
Well, I think it's slow progress, because here's the thing with my hair. Okay, it's Asian hair, right? So from the sides it shoots the fuck out. So if I go any longer than, at this point it was 5 weeks before I got the cut. I mean, it was tough. You can see on the pause it was really starting to bulk up over here. I got to get that tightened, and then when I tighten that, you just got to fucking finagle. I want to say finagle and configure at the same time, and I got reconfig. Basically, you got to. It's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. All right, and so I'm in the 1 step back. But the bangs, I'm trying to figure out how to do bangs. I haven't done bangs ever, so I don't know, dude. I'm learning.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm learning. It's gonna be a 3, maybe 4 month little experiment here.
And hey, we'll see it take place on the Daily Smart Nonsense podcast. Right. Let me tell you.
Right. Worst case scenario, I go back to the 2-week haircuts with Slouchy the Grouch. But he
that's
might
one
be back
for
in
me.
Dominican Republic.
2. My second thing. I was just on a call. Dude, I got managers. I got talent managers.
Do I want to clap for that? I don't know.
I have 2 of them. You do because it serves our bottom line. One manager I have is the guy that my brother brought on, Sam Patterson, to run the Clips agency. He'll be on the pod someday, dude. It's a hullabaloo here. Yes, but like one of the first things he's been working on is getting bigger agency deals through our Smart Nonsense content, be it brand deals or whatever, because that's how we got our first big one with CeraVe. I was just on a call with Mr. Beast talent talent managers, Night Media.
I don't think they do them anymore.
They have since parted ways, yeah, because I think Mr. Beast brought it in-house, because he was just getting all the deals coming to him, but they were still taking 10 or 20% or whatever it is.
Right.
And that is my segue into how I fully intend to become Mr. Beast, but then you said that's great and all, dude, but you're Mr. Beat.
And it's close. And it's really close.
It's close, but I think I'm actually going to lean into the Mr. Beat thing. Because I don't actually want to be Mr. Beast. Like, it's psychotic. I think what he's doing is psychotic. I do want to be like the Walmart version of just like, we have our content hub. It is the main thing. And we have all of this business and
Change
product
your
around it.
YouTube channel to Mr. Beat.
Mr. Beat.
You could. You could. No, I think that's good. It aligns with everything that we stand for. The silliness. Granted, I say silliness in the most serious voice ever. Um,
It's
is Knight gonna
Friday.
manage Mr. Beat or
Oh, yeah, no,
what
we
was
actually had
that
a
for?
great call. It's funny. So, and we've had a call with a couple different agencies, 2 or 3 at this point.
Oh wow.
All those conversations are going well. And it's nice that somebody else is on our team is running them. Um, it went well. It's just funny, like the answer to okay, sorry. Uh, this guy needs to connect us with somebody else inside of Night Media that actually manages people. He was more just like strategy, does onboarding, does like first calls with people. So we have a second conversation with Night that's going to happen, which was cool. And it was just fun and silly. And it started off like slow. And I came in like a minute or two late and it was kind of slow and tired. And I was like, uh-oh. And then I cracked. Mr. Beat got in there with the Friday
Oh wow.
sillies. Yeah, cracked them right open. Because he was
Nice.
asking me questions like, you know, how do you think about content? And I was like, I don't. Just giving him answers like that.
Oh
He was like, when do you think you'll get to long form? I'm like, when I can.
man, I bet he loved those answers.
No, he actually
Sounded
did. He
really
actually
good.
did. Because he wasn't expecting him. But yeah, like what we're finding is
Yeah.
the deal we're putting together that Sam's working on is called the cornucopia, which is basically if you do a brand deal on our stuff, it's YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Instagram, email, the cornucopia. What we're learning is the main way to crack into brand deals is to have long form, and it is our missing piece of the cornucopia.
It's the corn, dude.
It's the corn, actually. It's the corn that weaves the entire basket. Um, so no, it was just cool. Like this guy, we were looking at my long form. He was like, "Yep, totally get it. Your shorts are top of funnel. You clearly know how to funnel them to long form." And then he was like, "So tell me about the podcast." And I was like, "Dude, you don't want to know about
Oh,
the podcast." And he was like, "So I pull it up. I'm screen sharing,
oh, you
and he's
no.
he's like, what's going on here?" And I was like, "Funny thing about the podcast, it's actually I know it doesn't look like it, but it's actually how we started all this jazz."
Right.
And he was getting a kick out of that. He was like, "Do you do any brand deals or ad reads on the podcast?" I was like, "Dude, do you see how many views there are on all the episodes?" And he's
Right.
like, "Well, how about on Spotify?" I was like, "Even less."
Well,
um, but he was stoked
no.
about that. Yeah, dude. I mean, 324 episodes and nobody listens.
Well,
We're gonna figure it out.
it is. It might be tough. I don't know how hard it is over there at Night Media, but when you lose Mr. Beast and then you get Mr. Beat and his 100-view podcast, kind of a fall from grace. But no, I'm glad we can catch them if they do fall. That's good though, dude. I'm glad you got your first half of the day, which is smart nonsense, and then second half is brain blast,
Yeah,
supposedly
in theory.
running.
And it is. You guys have been doing a great job with Brain Blast the last few days. We're gonna get to that in a second. Um, dude, like here's like what I'm realizing in this new Mr. Beat frontier of first half of my day is basically running smart nonsense. Second half is working with you all on Brain Blast, doing the main thing, smart nonsense, because now I'm doing basically Brain Blast's shorts, right? Um,
Right.
future admit
Which
SAT
are
score shorts.
really sick.
Dude, it's just even 2 weeks ago I didn't understand because we were just like kind of doing content that was working. But like if you're doing content, if the main thing is the main thing, it's a hog. Because right now I'm training a writer, Sam from our team, so that he can like see how we write and write for future admit and write for the agency. He's crushing it. We've got another writer, Declan, floating around. Um, I'm writing some to kind of like set the foundation. I'm voicing them like SpongeBob, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
and I'm having it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, but
Well, it is
a
funny, just
hog.
like when you come into a company as an employee. Like I'm just picturing if you worked on SpongeBob SquarePants and you are Tom Kenny, like the voice of SpongeBob. That's just your job. You're gonna read like an hour of lines, then you go home. But you got to do that on top of like managing the editors, looking at all the edits, managing the brand deals to pay for everything, teaching people how to come and take your place. It's like a
Well,
hundred
yeah,
different jobs
because
at once.
and I'm trying to do the content. I'm trying to run like the Mr. Beast cloning algorithm of like just like slamming everything he knows onto all of the people around him so that they can do what he does. Because like for instance, this was funny, but yesterday Krishna runs Future Admit, right? And like I'm very much a let's ship things at 80%, like V1 and done. We
Perfection through
get to
iteration, dude.
perfection through iteration. Um, so I come in to like review some shorts for Future Admit that I had wrote, and again, we're trying to like get back to the foundation and make sure everything we're putting out is viral. And I have a lot of comments, mostly because the hook was like broken in this short, and the hook is really the only thing that matters. Oh, dude, and then we got to get to Ricky Pooji probably. Fucking Jesus
Oh,
Christ. So
one of your
wait.
friends.
So, um, Mr. Beat, dude. um, what was my point? Yeah. So anyway,
Well, you're going back looking at
oh
the hook
Krishna.
fucked
Oh yeah,
foundations.
Krishna.
Everything
Krishna.
goes
Hang on.
viral.
Yeah, Krishna.
Shit.
Um, so I have all these comments. I'm like, let's get ready for V2. The editor didn't have anything to work on today, so I was like, we'll just get to a V2. I go over and check TikTok. Krishna's already shipped the short. It's got like a voiceover issue. It's got like fundamental issues. I would not have put this thing out. But it's kind of beautiful because I was like, and then I'm going to get to my point. I was like, dang, it is kind of nice that one is dead and gone, and we can just move on now. Like it really doesn't matter. What does matter, Mr. Beat, why I'm doing so much and cloning so many people is like Krishna, like she doesn't know everything. That's not the point. What was my point? My point was like there are still things that I need to work on and teach high level with Krishna. Like one thing I just had to review this morning was like 20 audio tracks. We're trying to find the one that like scores all of the shorts the best. Because for a while we just had this like sleepy music underneath all the shorts. I don't know. It's like God is in the details stuff that obviously Krishna will pick up, but if you don't know, you just don't know. And so
But why?
it's a lot of that.
Why does she have to pick that up?
So that I don't have to do it forever.
I don't think Krishna would be that person though.
Well, maybe not. That's why I'm Mr. Beat too. Like there's a very good chance in our media machine everything goes through me. All the
Well,
content going out the doors has to go through
it
my
shouldn't.
eyeballs.
That's
I
not.
know.
I don't know if that's the
Well, yeah.
solution.
No, yesterday you said when you first invented Mr. Beat, because I was listening to this podcast where Mr. Beast basically he shows up in the office at 9 a.m. every day, and they have a whiteboard of 300 issues or bottlenecks, and they just go down the list of things that Mr. Beast can unstick or unbottleneck each morning. And you're like, dude, you're Mr. Beat. You get a list of bottlenecks, shoot yourself right in there and clog them all up.
Right. Yeah, it's like is it like Mr. Clean, but you don't clean the bottleneck, you just clog it up some more. No, I mean I think we got to lean into people's superpowers, and I don't think Krishna's superpower would be scoring shorts.
Yeah, this is true.
So I
And
don't think she has to
well,
learn it in the first place.
right. So like but there need to be processes. Like the other thing I'm realizing is like, damn, if we actually have this content machine, um, like another thing I'm spending a lot of time on is just like cleaning up how our pipelines move, how our content pipelines move. Someone takes an idea, they write it, I review it and punch it up, I shoot it. Um, it's yeah, it's just activation energy, but it's good. Dude, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to take all the spotlight as Mr. Beat.
No, I mean, fuck, you're on stage. Uh, Well, yeah,
I did an AMA in
yeah. I
Slack
mean,
last night.
yeah, yeah. I always get worried when I come out of a late night hockey session around midnight, and you respond to my text. It's like something's wrong when that happens. I get uneasy. I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but I don't like it because usually you'll shut
Dude,
down by 9 p.m. and I don't see you till like I'm booting up at noon the next day.
it's almost like if I've got you riffing on stuff at like 9 a.m. Central or 8 a.m. Central, I'm like, there's something not right about this. Like when you were up the other day to receive Krishna's package, her gift. It's like,
Right.
something's not right. Because I know you went to bed at 3. You should not be up at 7.
Yeah. Yeah, and I had some overlap too with Krishna the other night where I was messaging stuff and then she responded. She woke up. I'm like,
Because she
that.
wakes,
No, I don't
she
like this.
wakes up at like probably 4:30 or 5:30 Eastern.
Yeah.
It's funny. We
I
all
just see
have
her
our.
reacting to my message, my brain blast. But this morning I woke up and I felt like how you feel or you guys feel, or Krishna brain blasted me or us. I don't know. It was kind of in both with just a list. And I'm like, dude, I got fucking foggy eyes. I can't. I'm going to see this in 2 hours. But I realize like when I'm in that position, I'm like, God damn, like I'm stoked about it. And the other person, they're like fucking fog brain. They can't do it yet.
Yeah.
So it's that mismatch. But, um, yeah. I mean, one thing on the last bow on the Mr. Beat cornucopia thing, and training, I do know for a fact, and I don't mean to be the in-person guy, but Mr. Beast, there is a reason why he ships everybody to live with him in North Carolina when he could probably do everything remote
Yep.
in theory. Like, there's a difference between
I believe it.
24
Like
hours a day and
I would love to just go over
yeah.
somebody's shoulder and be like, why are we doing that? Or like, that music choice, and that's kind of putting me to sleep. It's just so much faster.
Yeah.
But these are the cards we dealt for now, which is
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Well, you're in here and I heard this word and I liked it. You're laying foundations. I needed to, and I don't think I publicly trash talked this, so this makes no sense, but I want to publicly apologize for hating on this one book. It's an SAT book, 1600.io. I got really turned off from the start of it, and this is mostly in text. Basically, it was super stuffy, formal. It was like college professors being like, hey, we're going to teach you math. We're not going to teach you any of the bullshit hacks that you get in other SAT books. We're going to teach you like how to do math so that when you get to the test, you just know how to do it. You don't have to do these little like gimmicks that's like, oh, look for the answer and plug it back in. Like, no, that's stupid. Don't do it. That's not the point of the test.
It's first
Like,
principles, right? You should just actually know how to do things.
right. Yeah, so it's kind of they believe in the purity of math and the test to test math, not to test hacking the math test. Um, that's compared to Pwn the SAT, which is like it's very heavy. Like the start of the book is like, here are the hacks. When in doubt, yeah, there it is. Look at you.
Roll the B-roll.
And then there's another one, College Panda, which is in the middle. That's kind of like just like a tutor. It's a little bit more formal, but not quite as collegey as the last one. Point though is, I was hating on it at the start. Then I started cracking into it, and I realized I really like it. I had shaky foundations, and when you're trying to build a skyscraper, it's just you can't. The thing's gonna topple.
Well,
And
I've seen and
yeah,
heard about you taking tests with improper foundations. You would cram and hack tests like the Pwn the SAT way. One of the problems of doing that is you very well might get into the test the day of and then start second guessing everything. And then
right.
you're like, do I know anything? And then you look at the page, and in SpongeBob fashion, the words on the page turn into Korean symbols. Roll the B-roll. And you can really yip out short circuit and have a panic attack. So foundations are
Yeah,
good.
I think those are some of my only panic attacks. Were when I have no foundation, I forget my hacks, and I'm just on the ground floor throwing mortar at myself. Is that
Molotov?
mortar? What's the thing that you like? You have cement and you like put it in between the cement to stick
Mortar.
together. Mortar.
Well, wait, in between the cement to stick together? No, you put mortar in between bricks.
What?
Cement.
Fucking bricks. I'm not a fucking, I don't even know what they call those people. House builders, bricklayers. I was just
Mason.
thinking mortar because I'm a Navy SEAL. Fucking mortars, you feel like you shoot them in the air and they
Dude.
come down like grenades. Yeah, whatever. I am now realizing foundation's nice. If you can build a foundation, build a foundation. And what I really liked is the start of the book. It's like, hey, we're gonna lay foundation, but we're gonna lay some foundation, and they're giving me primers, dude.
Whoa.
Primers is like, hey, we're not even getting to the source material. Here's like the second grade primer on how you add things together. When you see a plus, you're adding this and this.
Whoa.
I was like, yes, dude, give me the primer.
Whoa.
It was like, one, it's like doing an easy problem when you're doing the SAT. It's like, hey, we're gonna get the ball rolling with some easy problems. Then we're gonna start, growing the snowball, getting harder. I really liked being like, I know how to add. I can do that. I can do division, or I can do long division, and it was just making me feel really good. And now it's getting into some of the stuff where I'm a little bit shakier, but my foundation's fucking rock solid now because I did that little primer review, and I just feel really good about it.
I'm so happy for you. It's never too late to learn the SAT, dude. I think what's funny is out of context, because God knows who comes from episode to episode. Like, we're just talking about the SAT. You're talking about studying for the SAT.
Yeah, we're making an app.
No, that's fantastic. That is fantastic.
Well, it's kind of it's like it's like shorts, or I don't want to teach something unless I understand the foundations now, and that's why I'd always fucking spiral when I'm like, I gotta teach 3D glasses, but I don't know how light waves interact on the Z spectrum, fuck whatever that means. So I just lose myself and I'd be gone. But
it's fun. Yeah, every short you wrote
more justified
would end up at the Big Bang. It's just like that was just.
What was the guy who was Bernoulli? I just fucking always hit Bernoulli's principle somehow.
Yeah, and I don't think you've made a short since you encountered Bernoulli because it gets too
he got
deep.
The best of me. Well, what happened was I got walloped by
George Lucas.
He knocked me down, and then I was woozy, and Bernoulli came with the knockout punch, dude. And
it was like 2 years ago. You got beat up by a George Lucas story, and then you gritted your teeth and persevered on shorts for like another year, and then you encountered Bernoulli. No, you had trouble in Singapore, like 1868 for a while, and then you just got walloped by Bernoulli, and it was pretty much over from there.
Yeah, I tried to go forward with 1492 in Columbus. I was like one of the natives. I got wiped out by the disease there, and I'm like, all right, I can't do long form. I came back, and then it was the Lucas Bernoulli combo there that got me. That's fine because now I just learn.
Do you think when Mr. Beat gets his like foundations and mortar going really nice, and the mortar's set, you'll come back to content in some capacity? I mean, you're here for the podcast, and this will be something. I will tell you,
just going from, I had to like move my camera around because we had it set up differently, and I almost freaked out right before this podcast. I had to like re-level my tripod, and I freaked out.
Why?
Just internally. It was just like, why do I have to do, like, it made me really, I don't know why. It just made me really angry. Another thing, dude, let me vent some more because I started off really positive, so now I got space to go negative. So yesterday, we Christian on the pod, it's her birthday. I had to get her a card. Okay. So I'm not a big gift guy, but when I do give gifts and I like doing cards, I don't like just buying like off the shelf cards. I like making my own cards because I can do little doodles and things. So I'm like, okay, I want to do doodles and things. So I got to get some construction paper and a couple Sharpies. Some colored Sharpies so I could draw. I don't know why, but this was the most difficult thing maybe I've ever done. Um, dude, I went
Dude,
to one stationery
we
store. Yeah,
we just got to get you doing more things, I think.
maybe, dude. Just have
It's
me.
like it's like it's like dude, I don't know what kind of disorder it is, but it's like do you are so good at eliminating things that the few things you have to do just become like insurmountable. Like you can't make, and a lot of it is perfectionism. That's like a big piece. Like you make really great things, but it's like
Dude,
you
eh,
make it so hard.
I just, I got like, I haven't faced adversity, so I have no immune system to it. It just like
Right.
wallops me. But I went to one stationery store because I wanted fucking paper and Sharpies, and they didn't have paper and Sharpies. I'm like, you're a stationery store. So I went to another one, and
That's not
I'm like,
stationary.
okay, this is what I learned. I think I just had to go to like a CVS.
Yes.
I don't know what stationery is. Maybe that's the problem. I
Stationery is like
went.
fancy papers and cards and envelopes and stamps and tape
I thought,
and pens, fountain
yeah,
pens.
pens, dude. I mean, all right, so that was the problem. Okay, I kept going to stationery stores. And I'm like, why no one got paper and Sharpies? Because I went to the final place I went to. I'm just gonna buy my papers and whatever pens they got. They didn't have construction paper because I guess
Dude,
don't send.
adults don't do construction paper.
Right, right. I didn't realize this. So I got the fucking fanciest dumbass blue paper that's not even thick enough. Uh, and then these like Japanese like kids colored markers that like it's like whiteboard markers or
Finest in the
something.
world.
And it was like I came out of there. I just wanted one piece of construction paper and like 2 or 3 Sharpies. I spent $50 on stuff I don't need. I don't know how I ended up in that situation, but it
Dude.
really pissed me off.
You also thought you could go to the store and get one piece of construction paper?
I figured stationery, they just have all the paper.
No. Well, they'll
I'm
have
like, how do you
paper.
not?
But if you want like kids Crayola construction paper, you're going to get like a ream is what you're going to get. Like
Yeah.
300 pages. Actually, a ream's probably 500. And a Sharp, you can't just buy a piece of construction paper. Can't do that.
Well,
It's
you
nice
should
though.
be
You
able
you
to.
you illustrated and wrote a really great card. So it turned out. I'm glad you made it through that adversity. Your one thing
Yeah.
to do
Well, I
yesterday.
fucking had to run around the city because I didn't know where to buy paper. So I had to like normally I didn't have a pencil either, so I had to freehand dirt, and I felt pretty good about it. I'd give him like a 6 out of 10 dirt. Um, and
Little
rainbow and stuff.
cursed. He had like proper feet and fingers, and it was a little
Yeah,
something.
the proportions weren't right, but you only get one shot with the Sharpie. And then I saw it bled through because I had thin paper, not construction paper. So had some qualms, dude. But you live and you learn.
Gardeloo! How come you never Gardeloo me? I guess I was
Uh,
yapping in the first half.